Hey, and welcome to a musical series. So you're probably wondering what a musical series is. So it is a group of 8 performing arts students who will be bringing to you a video series over the next few weeks. This video series will include the different areas of the performing arts industry, including popular music, music tech and musical theatre.
So the term music technology, it refers to the technology used to enhance and record music, and as technology specialists it's our job to know the ins and outs of this technology.
I mean, music technology is a very specialised area. It's all the background happenings that go on behind the scenes in everyday commercial music that we hear today.
You know, where there's sound, there's always going to be music technologists. You know, radio, they need sound engineers to function their technology.
And also we have the recording area of music and the live sound. I mean, the recording area of music, we need music to be recorded, and we also use the effects that technology gives us to give the music and all the sounds and the tracks the best quality that they can have. And also in the live sound aspect, you know, we need music technology specialists and sound engineers to, you know, manipulate sounds and also give sound the best quality on a live perspective. How we've contributed to this series is from a technical basis. So what we've done is we've recorded all the instruments for the forthcoming track that we will be hearing, and we've also, being technology specialists, had the chance to manipulate those sounds and also add our own sounds and our own effects to these recorded tracks.
Yeah, I mean the track was really, you know, as said in the previous video, it was just bass, piano and guitar. So what we've done is we've took that track and we've turned it into something bigger, something more audibly exciting, you know, adding digital instruments. And for the recording process we only really use like two main pieces of technology, which is really all you need to function a pop-up studio really.
This is really going back to the budget recording, because, you know, we could go to a studio and record these instruments and have an absolutely perfect sound, but the point of this is to show our budget recording that we can make a sound just as good.
You know, you don't need to go to, you know, great studio to really get a good recording. You know, for the recording process in general, like I said, it was a laptop and an audio interface, and an audio interface basically allows the instruments, the sound being recorded, to be recorded straight to your laptop onto whatever software you use them.
And the majority of the time the software that is used is known as a digital audio workstation, and with this software we can record audio and also add our digital instruments and digital effects.
We use Logic as our recording software, and you know, recording software, you know, most of it, all the good ones that is, they all have something on them called MIDI. What MIDI basically is it's digital instruments that you can draw in or program onto your recording software without actually having to use a real instrument. You know, many great artists use this technique, you know, like Skrillex, Dr. Dre, they all use MIDI to program the instruments straight into their song. But the MIDI we used in our song, you know, it's we used a drum kit and strings, which what we call stylistically appropriate to the genre that the performing arts specialists basically gave us the brief on for them to let you perform to. I mean, you use MIDI all the time, Simon, in your own projects,
yes.
Don't you, too?
I use digital instruments all the time, because the way that digital instruments are laid out on this digital audio workstation, I mean, you can have all sorts. If we look here, we've got drum kits, bass guitars, electronic drum kits, guitars, synthesizers. You know, you have a wide range of instruments to play with and to create you know, this is a great way to create the sound that you want to hear and that you like personally.
I mean, it isn't just like the instruments on there, is it? It's like, I mean, I'm sure you can find anywhere online, like literally every instrument in the world in MIDI form.
Mixing. And what we do with mixing is where we can either take a recorded sound or program a sound in via MIDI, and we can change the effects of it to certain ways that we can, how can we say, manipulate the sound to make it sound how we want it to sound.
I mean, of course, with any MIDI, it's not going to sound exactly like the real thing. But, you know, with mixing, as Simon said, you can make even like the worst sounding MIDI instrument sound authentic if you're good enough at mixing it. You know, and with mixing, just for an example, we used a lot of reverb, didn't we? Because that was, once again, stylistically appropriate. But reverb, you know, basically what it is it's the sound of a room.
Reverb is basically an effect that's used on certain instruments or sounds to give it a certain effect for an environment. So, for example, we could make some drums, make them sound like they were recorded in a bathroom or a church hall, and we could do that for vocals. We could do that for anything we use the reverb plugin for.
We also used something we call EQ.
That's to control. What we use EQ for is to control and manipulate the levels of certain frequencies. So if we go onto an EQ here, we go into a channel EQ here. Here we can see that we have frequency bands. Say, look, 37.5 hertz, 500 hertz, and we can manipulate these frequency bands to either increase the frequencies at that level or decrease them at that level, and we could move them up and down as much as we wanted, and that's how we use an EQ plugin.
We also used compression.
Yeah, I use compression on most of my things. I mean, especially for drums, we can literally control how much compression we have on a certain instrument, and these are all defined by threshold, ratios, makeup, you know, hard knee, attack and release stages.
We're going to demonstrate for you now the ability of one of these plugins, in particular Reverb. And you know, Reverb can make something sound, you know, it can make something sound as though it's got space and distance in it, as opposed to its original dry and dead, kind of lackluster sound.
So here we give you a demonstration of the reverb on the snare drum. If we bypass the reverb, which means turn it off, that sounds like a bog standard recorded snare drum that's just been recorded in the studio. But what we'll do is we'll turn it on, and there we can see the resonance effect and the space effect that the reverb gives to the snare drum. This basically is used to manipulate sound and give them a certain environmental feeling. Like, we could, you know, give the listener the opportunity to say, is that played in a concert hall, or it sounds like it's played in a bathroom. It gives the listener more opportunity to make their own decision on what it sounds like. We can say a majority of different things have changed, you know, for technology developments in the music industry, like consumption of music, for example. I mean, I remember when I was younger, I used to listen to cassette players and CD players, you know, to consume music, and now it's a lot more accessible and also a lot cheaper to consume music in terms of the files and the MP3 formats and WAV formats that we can, you know, download, and also streaming as well. We can stream music as well. And also this brings us back to recording. I mean, if we looked at recordings, you know, even in the 80s and the 90s, you used to have to go to studios to record stuff, you know, but now we have these digital audio workstations and recording platforms where we can have a lot more accessibility to record our music and to also add digital effects. You know, it is all going digital now, let's be honest.
You know, I think I was inspired by hearing music, and as I said before, seeing that people can just make songs from their laptop, no instruments really needed. And I grew up listening to a lot of hip hop. Might be hard to believe looking at me now, but
really.
but yeah, yeah, it's like the sounds in that and everything. It's like I remember seeing Dr. Dre on like a MIDI keyboard or whatever, a synthesizer, and being like, wow, that's some really great melodies. Is just being able to play, just sitting there and recording straight onto his laptop, and then it becomes a multi-million-dollar song. And I think that's what really inspired me to keep pursuing and then going into college to study further. Yeah, we're quite fortunate in the aspect of the fact that where there's sound, you always need sound engineers to make it sound as professional and get it to the best standard that it can be. So, you know, as long as there's things like television, radio, musical theatre, there'll never be a drought for technology jobs, really, because they all need a person to run them and maintain the equipment, really. You could even go self-employed into, you know, opening your own recording studio, and, you know, that's personally for me, that's something that I'd love to do one day. I mean, it's a dream, really. I mean, Simon is, you know, he's a DJ, he's got his own business, really, isn't he? This has been the Music Tech video, and if you've enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button and check us out on our other social media sites, which include Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Remember to tune in next week for the musical theatre video. Thanks.